Press civil liberties groups denounce ICE attack on amNY journalist. Press freedom and civil liberties organizations sharply condemn Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE on Wednesday after journalists, including amNY's own Dean Moses, were shoved and injured by officers at Manhattan's immigration court. ICE officers shoved Moses, this paper's police bureau chief, and an Associated Press freelancer, Olga Fedorova, on Tuesday as they documented the detention of an immigrant near an elevator on the 12th floor of 26 Federal Plaza. Turkey-based Anadolu agency photographer Voro Elabat was hospitalized with what happened to be a serious injury after being knocked over during the scuffle. The National Press Photographers Association called the incident a blatant attack on press freedom and demanded accountability. ICE must be held accountable for violating its own policy and for trampling on the First Amendment rights of these photographers, said NPPA General Counsel Mickey H. Osterreicher. Anything less sends a chilling message to journalists everywhere. The NPPA called for a thorough investigation, accountability for the officers involved, and assurances that journalists can perform their duty safely without facing violence or retaliation. ICE incident part of alarming trends of attacks on press freedom. PEN America described the episode as part of an alarming trend of attacks on press freedom, with program director Tim Richardson warning that it put both journalist safety and the public's right to information at serious risk. The New York Civil Liberties Union said ICE's brutal violence at 26 Federal Plaza is a deliberate assault on New York's immigration communities and the press. Civil liberties groups said the incident underscores the danger of unchecked federal enforcement actions. This abusive treatment of New Yorkers cannot continue or become normalized, said Amy Belcher of the NYCLU. The First Amendment gives the public and press the right to observe, document, and share information about ICE's conduct, including their unlawful targeting of non-citizens showing up for mandated court hearings. Since May, amNY has reported extensively on the immigration crackdown at 26 Federal Plaza, including repeated attempts by ICE agents to intimidate journalists covering their enforcement actions. In June, for instance, mass officers confronted members of the press inside the federal building, claiming an area just steps from the courtroom was restricted despite its proximity to a public elevator. Reporters said agents also photographed their press credentials with personal cell phones in what appeared to be an imitation tactic. In another instance, two masked officers surrounded AM New York journalists, snapped a mocking selfie with the reporter, and then laughed. The coverage prompted the Freedom of the Press Foundation to send letters of concern to federal authorities and the New York City mayor's office. That's all I have to say here.